I'm Rosemary Shrager. Now, this project has been set up by Durham County Council, and it's to basically support the traders who would be trading during all the events. And at the moment, this is a terrible time, so I think this is a great thing to do. I'm going to be doing a turkey en croute. Now, the other thing is, if you want to go on and find more what's going on with Durham County Council, go onto their website, go on and find the news for all the next events and dates, etc. So in the meantime, I'm going to be showing you how to make the turkey en croute. So the first thing we're going to be doing is preparing our huge turkey breast. Now, the reason I'm doing this is for twofold. Is number one, it goes such a long way, and also number two, you can prepare it in advance and it's much easier to do, and also it's a little bit different. I removed the skin and I'm going to just turn it upside down. I took the fillet out. I'm going to put this into the stuffing in a minute. Now I'm just going to do one more thing. There's a little bit sticking out that makes it a bit clumpy. So I'm going to be removing that little bit. Now, you can see it's sharp at one end and it's thicker at the other end. Now, this we have to organise by actually bringing this in to make the whole thing work. So basically it becomes more of a solid piece. So we're here, and all you do is you take your knife, you've got your sharp bit there, you go through, and what we're going to be doing, we're going to be putting the stuffing in the middle. Now you take it down just past the centre. Now then you have to cut it again in, so you've got another cut, so that folds over, and you take it the other side, so that folds over. Next we need to prepare the stuffing. Now for the stuffing, we are going to have 2 packs of sausage meat. It's about 900 grams. We're going to have some cranberries. We're going to have a whole egg. We're going to have some butter. And then we are going to have some shallots or onion. Doesn't matter. Now I've got, rather than parsley in the recipe, I had loads of coriander. So I'm going to put that in because I've got it. It's got dried sage in the recipe and parsley, but I'm going to leave it at that for the moment. Now the first thing I have to do is to soften the onion. Now this will take a minute, and while that's just cooking off, I'm going to put the rest of the ingredients in a bowl. Now the reason I use sausage meat, you can use ordinary sausages, use anything, but it's already got sort of pepper in. It's actually, I like sausage meat. I think it's really good. So the next thing I'm going to do is pop the cranberries in while the shallots are cooking. Well, I've said shallots because I've got onion again in the recipe. But again, I love shallots, so you can do what you want, but it's onion. Shallots are a little bit sweeter. Now I'm going to cut this coriander. Now, to be honest with you, I love to use everything. So if you bring it up, bring it in. Now, the most important thing is when you do things like this is you need to not do it too much, because what happens is it bruises. It bruises really badly. So you want the flavour. Now, I've put in all the bits. The only thing I haven't put in is the egg yet. Now, and I'm also going to put in a minute, when I put this into the processor with that. Now, I'm going to do that just to start off because it's hot. And then I'm going to do it with my hands. Okay, there we go. There we are. Now, I love that thing. And also, if you like things like this, now don't be frightened. Get your hands in it. Just get your hands in it, because it's the only way to do it. Egg, 1 egg. Pop it in. So now the next stage is I've taken about 300 grams of sausage meat. Now, the most important thing is this particular round cylinder. It must be really, really cold. In fact, I mean, you know, you can do it the day before, which I always recommend anyway. So you bring this in, roll. Now, don't be frightened. Don't cut. Everybody cuts their, it's okay, everybody cuts their cling wrap far too short. I always leave it on the roll because what the roll does, it gives me leverage. Take it off. roll, roll. Now, I now pull it, make a knot. And if I can't make the knot, if it's too short, what I do is I take it, cut a little piece off. That's it, and just bring it round, and then I just make a knot here. And if you go 1, 2, okay, what happens? It's very clever. It stays. So you make 2 over, and then this is the knot. Right, the other thing is, now, to make it tighter, and tight is what you really need to do. By making it tighter, you bring it in like this, so it's getting now really tight. I'm now going to get another piece of cling wrap, or cling film, whatever you like to call it. Wrap it up. I tell you, sometimes I use the cling wrap to be an extra little thing on my belt when I've got my apron. Shh, don't tell anyone. Now, if you're going to leave it overnight, put it in the fridge. If you're going to leave it for a short time, shove it in the freezer. Now, obviously, this is a bit soft, so I can't use it yet. That needs to go away. But I made one yesterday. Blue Peter. I didn't want to hang around. Now, in here, what I've got is the trimmings of the turkey breast. Now, I don't know whether you realised, I actually did the roll in coarsely, and it was coarse, but when I'm doing the stuffing to go on the pastry, I want it a little bit finer, and that's why I'm putting it in. Otherwise, if you haven't got a processor, please don't worry, because actually, if you put it in the way it's in, it's fine. It doesn't matter, it can be rough. Now, that's finished. Let me just stop, actually. Yeah, that's perfect. It's a little finer for me, but it's not really fine. I shall pop it in here. So now I've taken the 16 pieces of bacon and I've put it between 2 pieces of Get Down greaseproof. Now the most important thing is this is too wide, obviously. So I need to bring them forward by really pressing it hard, and this will make them bigger because it's never going to go around the roll. So we put this like this. To invert it. It's the only way to do is to invert it. So take the top off, like that. We don't want that now, so we throw that away. We're now going to take this and we're going to go up, see, there. Rolling a little bit more onto the cling wrap. There we are, just to give it, make it as long as possible. Now, having inverted it onto the cling wrap, this is what we're looking for. I'm now going to carefully remove that. I have got a firm piece of, really firm, settled, and that's what you need. Now, I've seasoned both sides of the turkey. I'm going to bring this up. There we are. It's like a little, it's like a flap, really. You come up, and this comes up, and this comes up, again, like a flap. Now, this is where it gets tricky, I'm afraid. We have to bring it in like this. Okay. Now, I'm going to have to make it wider. More of a flap to come in. And again, I'm going to have to make it bigger. This is really important. Okay, that's it. So it's all in. That's fine. Now, bring it in. Perfect. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Don't worry about having too much bacon, really. That doesn't matter. So we're now going to take our turkey breast and we're going to bring it up. So what's going to happen, we're going to bring it up really, really tightly. Okay, so it completely goes around. Now, that's it, right. So there's far too much here, but don't panic about that, please, because I'm just going to tuck it in like that. Oh, I could take a few of these out, actually, that's probably it. Now, you need leverage with this, so the leverage is important. Roll. Roll. Okay, roll. Right, now we haven't ended it there. You now have to go the other way, which is really important. Really, you can't get the water in. So what I'm going to do is cut, wait, it's cut piece of, but leave, which is important, that much there. That's it. There. Right, once you've got there, you've got that little bit to play with, which is cool. That's fine. So, okay, so we roll that up. Don't roll that up yet, please. And then roll this up. Now, what's going to happen with this? Just do another piece, would you? Make a knot. That's it. Right. Now, once I've got that, I'm now going to take another piece of cling wrap, my belt, in the turkey with everything, stuffing in the middle, not stuffing on the outside, stuffing in the middle, and I'm going to leave this for 1.5 hours. Now, this is the one I did yesterday. I let it get cold. It got to 160 degrees after 1.5 hours, and it was just simmering. So you must, it's so much easier if you let it get cold, but it's, what this happens, makes it tender by doing it in here, because it doesn't dry out. You know how turkeys can be really dry. I'm browning my turkey breast on all sides now. I know in the recipe what I put on was to actually roll that out first, but because I did it finer in the processor, I'm able to put it all the way around by hand. So it sort of makes it more accessible, makes it possible, so you can do it, make sure you've got it all there. Oh, it's lovely, it smells lovely as well. It smells really nice, so it's even. Rolled out the puff pastry to a big cylinder, and I'm bringing it in. Now, what's important is you come halfway. This is going to be the bottom. All right, so if we're going to, what we're going to do is brush this, the agate, because we need to egg it to be able to stick. Because what we don't want is anything to come in. Now, I'm now going to take this. Now, obviously, I'm just going to see where this goes. Yes, I'm going to cut this off. And then what I'm going to do is bring this up, seal it, perfect. Right, when it comes to this, you've got to do the ends. We've got to bring the ends in. So I'm going to just, again, cut a little bit off the ends here, just a little bit, just to give it a little bit. And then I'm going to egg it again. So everything we're doing at the moment, we're sealing it up. We're sealing it. That should be perfect. And really tuck it in. Make sure it's completely firm all round. And this is actually really important because, you know, there will be a few bits of air bubbles in there. Now, at this point, before I put it in the oven, I would probably, I'm going to put this in the oven now, but I would probably put this in the fridge overnight, only just because it rests quite a lot, but it doesn't matter, it's not that important. I'm going to now take a knife, and you need to have a little hole in there. Just a little hole. I'm going to put 3 little holes actually, because what that will do is bring the steam out. Rolling this out to put decoration on it, so I have to get as thin as possible because there are quite a few layers there. So I need to really, and you can do any decoration you like. Right, now this was a hot tray. I've had this tray in the oven. Now it's better to put anything like this, an Croute, onto a hot tray, because what happens is the bottom starts to cook before and it turns it crispier. And I'm going to now take this very heavy Croute and put it in the oven for about 60 minutes. Now it's reached the temperature, and I'm going to leave it for half an hour because what's going to carry on, it's going to carry on cooking, setting, but you need to let it rest. It's really important. It looks magnificent. First of all, it's cheaper to do it like this. You can do it in advance. It's not so sort of, you know, still have your roasty potatoes with it, but it's so different, and also it keeps it so moist. I'm just going to have a little taste. Oh, it looks amazing. I love those little bits of cranberries in it as well. delicious. That is delicious. All I'm going to say is Happy Christmas! Happy Christmas!